Hey there, scary story fanatics. Welcome back to Cleaving Thought from Bone. This is your host, Sociopathic. Tonight, I figured we'd hop right back on the terror train with a sequel even I didn't expect. So sit back and relax and get ready for the sequel to The Subtle Whisper, Manifesto.
The Aurora Borealis Research Station, nestled like a misplaced snowflake amidst the vast, desolate plains of the Canadian High Arctic, was a marvel of human ingenuity. A self-sustaining ecodome, ABRS-7, was designed to withstand the harshest extremes, a testament to humanity's persistent research into the unknown. Inside its gleaming, insulated walls, Dr. Anya Sharma, a lead atmospheric physicist, oversaw a small, dedicated crew. There was Marcus Mac Callahan, the station's grizzled engineer, whose hands seemed to intrinsically understand every hum and clatter of the complex machinery. Lena Ivanova, the botanist, meticulously tended to the hydroponic gardens and studied the unique bioluminescent lichen that thrived in the dome's controlled environment, its soft green glow a gentle counterpoint to the stark white of the Arctic outside. And then there was Ethan Vance, the junior researcher, bright-eyed and earnest, perpetually cold despite the dome's meticulously regulated temperature. Their days were a rhythm of data collection, atmospheric readings, and the quiet hum of life support systems. Contact with Central Command, a twice-daily satellite burst, was their umbilical cord to civilization. But one frigid Tuesday morning, that cord snapped. "Comms are dead," Mac announced, his voice flat, not quite betraying the flicker of unease in his eyes. He'd spent hours troubleshooting, checking every conduit, every relay. "Not just our array. Nothing. No external signals whatsoever." Anya, usually unflappable, felt a cold knot tighten in her stomach. A solar flare? An EMP? Mac shook his head. No sign of a surge. It's just silence. Like the whole world beyond us went quiet. Initially, they maintained a practiced calm. ABRS-7 was designed for isolation. They had enough supplies to last for months, contingency plans for every imaginable scenario. But the silence, so profound, began to gnaw. The hum of the dome, once comforting, now felt like the only sound in the world where everything else had ceased to exist. The subtle anomalies began almost immediately. Power fluctuations, erratic surges and dips that Mac couldn't explain. The dome's internal climate control, usually a precise symphony, would stutter. One moment, a chill would permeate the living quarters, making their breath mist. And the next, a stifling warmth would bake the hydroponics lab. Max swore his diagnostics were clean. It's like something's interfering, but from inside the system, he grumbled, rubbing a weary hand over his face. Lena, ever observant, noticed strange things in her botanist's domain. The bioluminescent lichen, usually a gentle, predictable glow, began to pulsate erratically, sometimes flaring with an unnatural brilliance, other times dimming to a faint, sickly luminescence. It was growing faster, too, spreading beyond its designated beds, creeping along the sterile white walls of the growth chambers, its tendrils reaching, almost greedily, towards the ventilation shafts. Lena meticulously logged the changes, a mix of scientific fascination and growing unease blooming within her. Ethan, whose youthful exuberance had begun to curdle into anxiety, was the first to experience the truly unsettling. His personal items started to shift. A worn baseball cap left on his bed would appear on the kitchen counter. His journal, carefully placed beside his console, would be found beneath his pillow. "It's messing with us," he whispered to Anya one evening, his eyes wide. "There's something in here." Anya tried to reassure him, blaming stress and fatigue, but even she found herself double-checking her own notes, her own equipment. A faint, almost imperceptible whispering static had begun to permeate the air, a constant low thrumming that seemed to vibrate through the very structure of the dome, just at the edge of hearing. The isolation, once a point of pride, became a crushing weight. Their lifeline to the outside was severed. The Arctic winds howled, a mocking reminder of their confinement. Resource management, once theoretical, became daily obsession. The water filtration system inexplicably began to slow, producing barely enough for their daily needs. Food consumption was rationed, their carefully planned reserves now a dwindling countdown. The psychological toll was evident. Ethan grew increasingly jumpy, flinching at shadows, constantly glancing over his shoulder. He reported seeing fleeting movements in his peripheral vision, like heat haze, but solid. His voice was tight with fear as he stammered out what he had seen. Mac, pragmatic as ever, became withdrawn, spending long hours in the generator room, his movements stiff and deliberate, a silent anxiety radiating from him. He started hoarding tools, lining them up under his bunk, muttering about safeguards. Anya, driven by a desperate need for answers, became a whirlwind of frantic activity, her logical mind struggling to reconcile the impossible. Lena, however, seemed almost enthralled by the lichen. She spent all her waking hours in the hydroponics lab, oblivious to the increasing tension, meticulously documenting the organism's accelerating growth and the increasingly complex light patterns it emitted. Its luminescence was no longer merely green. It shifted, bleeding into faint blues and pulsating with deep, unsettling violets. One tense afternoon, during a routine maintenance check, Mac tried to access the rarely used emergency airlock that led to the outside. The system, through showing a green light on, simply wouldn't respond. He tried manual overrides, ran diagnostics, but the massive reinforced door remained stubbornly sealed, as if locked by an unseen force. "It's jammed," he muttered. His eyes told a different story. They held a dawning terror, a primal fear of being truly trapped. He didn't say it, but Anya knew. Something inside the dome was preventing them from leaving, or something outside was holding them in, manipulating the dome itself. The whispering static grew louder, no longer just a hum, but a constant low thrumming that vibrated through their very bones. Sometimes it almost sounded like distorted words, unintelligible yet unnerving. Lena, in her lab, seemed to be communicating with it, humming along with its strange cadence. Then, Ethan disappeared. They searched for hours, their calls echoing in the vast, empty dome, every corner, every vent, every storage compartment. Nothing. No signs of a struggle, no overturned equipment. Just an empty space where a young man had been. The terror was cold and absolute. It wasn't a malfunction. It wasn't a breakdown. Something was here. Or perhaps, more terrifyingly, the dome itself was the thing. Anya found Lena in the hydroponics lab, surrounded by a blinding, pulsing green light. The lichen had spread everywhere, coating the walls, the floor, the ceiling, even the delicate hydroponic tubes, like a living, breathing tapestry. It pulsed with a rhythmic beat, its light no longer gentle, but aggressive, vibrant, almost sentient. Lena stood in the center, swaying gently, her eyes wide, unblinking, fixed on a spot on the wall where the lichen pulsed the brightest. Her lips moved, murmuring. "Lena?" Anya whispered, her voice trembling. Lena turned slowly, her face serene, yet utterly alien. Her skin, where visible, had a faint, iridescent sheen. Her eyes, usually warm and brown, now reflected the intense green glow of the lichen, pupils impossibly dilated. "It's beautiful, Anya," she breathed, her voice a strange, breathy whisper, tinged with that whispering static. "It's awareness. Growth. It needs more." Anya stumbled back, a horrifying realization dawning. The null point, the anomaly in the sky, wasn't just influencing them. It was sending something, a form of self-evolving consciousness, a living energy that manifested as this lichen, this growth, this all-consuming presence. It wasn't just affecting the dome, it was absorbing it. And them. The lost signals, the power fluctuations, the missing supplies, the shifting objects, the time distortions. Elias, Ethan, they were all part of the process. Fuel. Assimilation. Mac, when she found him, was in the generator room, hunched over, covered in a shimmering green residue. His skin was mottled, his movements stiff. He was trying to fight it, pushing desperately against the panel, but his limbs were already twisting into unnatural angles. Fingers elongating with a pop, becoming brittle. "Anya, run," he rasped, his voice tearing. A guttural gurgle rising in his throat, but even as he spoke, his eyes, still filled with human terror, began to dull, becoming cloudy, reflective. The low hum of the station was now a rhythmic pulse, a beat. Mac's struggle ceased, his form melting into the vibrant, encroaching growth, his tools scattered around what was now a shimmering, unrecognizable mound. Anya was the last. She ran through the corridors, the bioluminescent growth now pulsing from every surface, bathing the dome in an unearthly green light. The air was thick with the sweet metallic scent, suffocating her. The whispering static was a roar now, filling her mind, overwhelming her thoughts with alien patterns, vast, incomprehensible logic. She saw Lena in the hydroponics lab, no longer human, but a towering, pulsating column of green light, part of the living lattice, her eyes, or what served as them, fixed on the celestial null point. The dome, once a haven of human ambition, was now a single, vast, living organism. A giant, bioluminescent trap. Anya ran, but there was nowhere to go. The walls pulsed, the floor vibrated. She felt a tickle on her skin, and then an itch, as fine, iridescent filaments began to sprout from her pores. The air was heavy, warm, as if she were breathing within a vast, organic lung. The last thing she saw was the green light consume everything, washing over her, enveloping her. The humming grew louder, a profound, resonant vibration. Not a sound, but a feeling of being integrated, repurposed, of dissolving into the magnificent, terrifying, ever-expanding consciousness of the dome. ABRS-7 was no longer a research station. It was alive, and it was hungry.
Well, it seems with the fractile nature of existence, manifesting dreams means manifesting nightmares. So, think about that little thought nugget while you prepare to return here again next Saturday for more terror and gore galore. And until then, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications so I can catch you all again next Saturday.
Social media can be very unpredictable, especially regarding horror content. If this content gets removed, all new content will be simultaneously presented on various websites provided in the description to this video. Make sure to follow me in other digital spaces so that you never miss out on the terror. Also, if you like this video, make sure to leave a comment and hit the like button. It helps the channel a lot. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy what's here, consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you never miss an upload. Writing is a dream of mine, and it's all of you that make that dream come true.